Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to another deeply real and raw conversation on Love Soul Connection, your favorite podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that sits very heavy on my heart: sex, shame, and silent struggles. Growing up, many of us were given the same script: sex is for having children, good girls don't talk about these things, it is dirty, it is embarrassing, it's not for you to enjoy. Your husband will decide what happens in the bedroom. I know this script very well because it was mine too. I was told the same things growing up. I remember being a teenager, so curious about my body, about love, about intimacy, and feeling this deep, burning shame. I once asked an innocent question about periods at a family gathering, and the silence that followed, it felt like I had said something absolutely filthy. That one moment taught me: keep quiet. Good girls don't ask these questions. And that shame followed me for years, into my marriage, into my body, into how I thought about myself as a woman. And I see it every day in the women that I coach now. Women struggling with PCOS, painful periods, body image issues, menopause, not just because of the symptoms, but because they feel like they have no right to speak about their bodies. They feel guilty for wanting sex, for desiring pleasure, for even wanting to be heard. I once had a client who told me, with tears in her eyes, Meeta, I thought sex was just something I had to suffer through, like a duty. I didn't know it was supposed to be so beautiful. Can you imagine living your whole life thinking that something so natural, so sacred, is something to suffer through? That is why today's episode is not just about sex. It's about the silent wars that we have fought inside ourselves for far too long. It is about how shame has kept us disconnected from our bodies, our pleasure, and even our health. It is about how conditions like PCOS, painful periods, menopause, all these challenges are worsened because nobody ever taught us that it is okay to talk about them. It is okay to ask, to demand better. So today, I want to help you, no matter what age you are, no matter what stage of life you are in, start peeling back that shame layer by layer. Because your body is not dirty, your pleasure is not wrong, your questions are not shameful, they are powerful and they deserve to be voiced. So stay with me. Let's have this conversation the way it was always meant to be: real, raw, and without a single drop of shame. Are you with me? When we talk about shame, especially around sex, it's not something that just appears one fine day. It is something that is planted in us, like tiny seeds, from the time we are very, very young. It starts at home with those first awkward conversations, or rather, the lack of conversations. Maybe you asked, Mom, what's a period? And you were met with a tight lipped, embarrassed look and a quick, we'll talk about it later. Maybe you saw two actors kissing on TV and someone rushed to change the channel like you had seen something dangerous. At school, it didn't get any better. Sex education, if it even existed, was often clinical, rushed, whispered behind closed doors. Instead of learning that sex is about connection, pleasure, health, consent, we learned it is dangerous, it is dirty, stay away from it. And then, of course, society played its part. Movies, TV shows, unspoken rules, teaching us that a good girl is quiet, modest, and never ever brings up anything related to her body, her desires, or her needs. I remember a woman who came to me for coaching. She had been married for 5 years and still felt too embarrassed to tell her husband that sex was painful for her. Every time she tried, she felt this huge wave of guilt, like she was letting him down, like something was wrong with her body. Instead of feeling safe, she felt ashamed and suffered in silence. She worked with me, and I encouraged her to talk about it. Slowly and steadily, she opened this conversation with her husband. And you know what? The husband was not even aware that she was going through this. He was more than supportive, and their intimacy improved so much later because they were able to resolve the problem of pain and work around it to convert it into pleasure. Then there was this young girl, just 16. She once wrote to me, Nita, is it wrong that I feel curious about my body? I feel like I'm disgusting for even thinking about it. My heart broke reading that because curiosity about your own body is normal. Wanting to understand yourself is beautiful. But when shame is planted early, it will twist these natural feelings into guilt, fear, and silence. So here's the thing, silence doesn't protect us, it isolates us. When women are far too afraid to ask questions, to seek help, to talk about what's happening in their bodies, they don't magically become good girls. They just become women who feel alone, who suffer through their painful periods quietly, who think struggling with PCOS or menopause symptoms is just their bad luck. Women who believe that pleasure isn't for them, only for their partners. And that isolation, it eats away at our confidence, our relationships, our joy. So I want you to know whatever shame you've been carrying, it's not your fault. It was planted there by a world that didn't know better. But you can choose differently. You can start talking, start asking, start reclaiming your body, your voice, your pleasure. And it starts with one simple thing, breaking the silence. Let's do that together. Now let's talk about what happens when we stay silent for too long. When we are told, directly or indirectly, that talking about our bodies is shameful, we don't just stay quiet about sex. We also stay quiet when our bodies are in pain. We stay quiet when our cycles are irregular, when periods are unbearably painful, when our bodies start changing during menopause. Silence seeps into everything. I can't tell you how many women have shared stories like this with me on social media. Everywhere I go, I read about this. Nita, I thought having painful periods was normal. Everyone said, just deal with it. I popped painkillers and went to work. I never thought maybe something deeper was wrong. Or young women with PCOS who were only told, just lose weight, you'll be fine. No one explained to them that PCOS affects your hormones, your moods, your energy, your sex drive, your mental health. It's not just about the number on the weighing scale. One woman I coached said that she spent 10 years thinking she was just lazy because of her fatigue until she was finally diagnosed with PCOS. And by then, the shame and self blame was so deeply woven into her identity that it took so many years to untangle. I can share my own personal story here. I went to 10 different gynacs who couldn't diagnose that I had PCOS. I used to struggle with immense pain during my periods. I used to bleed so much. And the doctors just told me, go have a baby and you will be fine. And then I would ask them that my mother has 4 children, but yet she suffers with the same fate. She is always struggling with pain, popping pills every period, and there was no help available till she finally just got her uterus removed. But I didn't want to go through that same thing. This was very painful for me, and I struggled with it for more than 2 years before finally a homeopath doctor diagnosed the PCOS and gave me some medicine which was able to regularize my periods. From that day on, I became conscious about my health, and till today, my periods are always regular. And this is something which no one talks to us about. Menopause is another silent battle. Oh my god, we don't even begin to talk about menopause in our homes. Instead, women are just told, this is just a phase, bear it, stop complaining. But menopause isn't just a few hot flashes. It is insomnia, depression, sudden changes in weight, feeling like a stranger in your own skin. It impacts sex drive, relationships, your entire sense of self. And because nobody talks about it, women think that they are losing it. They start questioning themselves instead of realizing, oh, this is natural. This is something that my body is doing. And it is okay to ask for support. You know what is the real cost when we don't talk? We don't ask for help. When we don't ask for help, we delay treatment. We live with unnecessary pain. We lose our confidence. And worse, we start believing that there is something wrong with us. We think, why can't I handle this? Why is my body betraying me? Maybe I'm broken. But, my friends, you're not broken. You're not wrong. You're not alone. You've just been made to feel ashamed about things that are completely natural. So, here's what I want you to take away. If you are struggling with your periods, with PCOS, with menopause, please know that you don't have to suffer in silence. Your pain is valid. Your questions are important. Your voice deserves to be heard. And healing starts when you say enough. When you say, I deserve answers. I deserve to feel good in my body. Talking about your body is not shameful, it is powerful. And that is exactly what we are doing today, reclaiming our power one conversation at a time. Stay with me. You know, one of the biggest myths that we have been fed, especially as women, is that sex is only for making babies. Yesterday, I was having this conversation with a few women who think that whatever I talk about sex is too much to handle. They feel ashamed, they don't feel comfortable. That after marriage, after kids, it's done. The excitement is over, it's just another chore that you tick off a checklist. But let me tell you something very clearly. Sex is so much more. Sex is pleasure. It is connection. Sex is self awareness. Sex is healing. You have the right to enjoy sex. You are not selfish if you want sex for pleasure. You are not wrong if you want to feel connected, touched, loved, desired. You have the right to talk about your needs, to ask for what you want, to explore your body without guilt. And yet, we grow up hearing things like, good girls don't talk about sex. It is shameful to want more. Only men have desires. No wonder we just keep shrinking ourselves. No wonder so many women lose touch with their own bodies, their own sensuality. Let me share a real story that touched me deeply. There's this beautiful woman that I worked with. Let's call her Priya. She got married very young. She did everything right. got the husband, had two lovely kids, took care of her family. But somewhere along the way, she lost herself. She told me, Meeta, I thought sex was over for me. I thought now I'm a mom, I'm older, this part of my life is done. But deep down, she missed feeling alive. She missed that spark. She missed being seen as more than just a caregiver. In our sessions, we started gently unpacking all the shame that she had absorbed. We worked on reclaiming her body, not as a vessel for children, not as something to be hidden, but as something that was hers, her own. And today, Priya talks openly with her husband about her desires. They laugh together, they explore new ways of connecting, they've rediscovered intimacy after 20 years of marriage. She told me, I feel like I'm finally living in my body again, not just existing. It felt so good when I was able to bring this transformation in her life. We are always told about being good girls, right? So let's reframe that narrative. Good girls do talk about sex. Good girls own their sexuality. Good girls know that being connected to their pleasure is part of their health, their wholeness, their happiness. Owning your sexuality doesn't make you bad, it makes you free. And when you start seeing sex as an act of connection, not a performance, not a duty, not a baby making factory, that's when everything changes. What I want you to remember, you deserve to experience intimacy that feels good, safe, exciting, and healing. You deserve to feel like your body is a source of joy, not just a burden of expectations. You deserve to speak, to ask, to feel. And together, little by little, we are breaking the silence, shattering the shame, and reclaiming what was always ours to begin with. Okay, now that we've talked about all the shame, the silence, the struggles, let's talk about hope. Let's talk about healing. Let's talk about how you can start reclaiming your power right now, right here. It doesn't have to be some big dramatic thing. You don't have to stand on a stage and declare your freedom unless you want to. Sometimes all it takes is just one small step. The first thing that you need to do is start talking. Talk to your girlfriends, talk to your partner, talk to your doctor. Ask questions you were once too shy to ask. Is it normal to feel this way? Why is my sex drive changing? Can you recommend someone I can talk to about my body? I remember one of my clients, Ria, who messaged me after she finally asked her doctor about her painful periods. She said, Neeta, I feel like I broke some unwritten rule today. I asked for help and it felt amazing. That is power. Asking is power. The second thing that you need to do is start learning. There is so much amazing information out there now. Books, podcasts, blogs, communities where people talk openly about sexuality, intimacy, bodies, pleasure. So start small. Pick one book, one podcast episode like this one article that helps you to understand your body better. Knowledge kills shame. Because when you know how your body works, you realize there was never anything wrong with you. Your body is miraculous. It deserves celebration, not secrecy. The third step that you need to take is start healing. Sometimes talking and reading aren't enough, and that's okay. Sometimes you need deeper support, therapy, coaching, support groups. These are the tools for strong women, not weak women. Strong women who know that healing is an act of courage. Let me share a personal story here. When I first started working deeply in the field of intimacy coaching, I had to go through my own healing. I had to sit with my own shame. I had to unlearn the good girl conditioning too. And let me tell you, getting support was life changing. It didn't make me weak, it made me unbreakable. If you need help, please know seeking support is one of the bravest, most beautiful gifts that you can give yourself. The fourth thing that you need to understand is to start owning your pleasure. Masturbation, it's very normal. Feeling sensual in your own body, normal. Wanting more from your intimate life, absolutely normal. Your pleasure belongs to you. It's not something you need permission for. It's not dirty. It's not shameful. Pleasure is your birthright. Touch your body with love. Explore what feels good. Celebrate yourself. Sensuality is not for someone else, it's for you. And the last thing, perhaps, that you need to do is have that one brave conversation. I want to leave you with this thought. Healing doesn't happen in some big bang moment. It often starts with one small conversation, one brave question, one honest moment with yourself or someone that you trust. That little moment of courage, it can crack open a door inside you that will never close again. You will walk through that door into a life where you own your body, your pleasure, your power, fully, unapologetically, and joyfully. And when you do, you will inspire everyone around you to do the same. Because your freedom gives others permission to be free too. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want you to remember one thing very, very clearly. You are not alone and you are not broken. If you've ever felt shame around your body, if you've ever struggled to talk about periods, PCOS, menopause, your desires, or even your pain, if you've ever felt like you needed permission to talk about sex, please hear me when I say you are part of a sisterhood of millions of women, women who were taught to be silent, to shrink themselves, to carry it all inside. But here's the truth, you don't have to carry it alone anymore. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to hide your questions, your needs, your feelings. You don't have to just deal with it. You deserve answers. You deserve support. You deserve healing. You deserve pleasure. You deserve joy. And it all begins when you choose yourself. When you say, I deserve to know my body. I deserve to speak my truth. I deserve to heal, to feel, to live fully. Today can be the day you start. Maybe you'll talk to a friend. Maybe you'll ask your doctor a question that she's being scared to ask. Maybe you'll just sit with yourself in a moment of love and say, I am worthy. Whatever your first step looks like, take it. Because every brave step that you take cracks open the door for another woman behind you to walk through. When you heal yourself, you heal generations. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend, a sister, a daughter, anyone who needs to hear that they are powerful beyond measure. And if you are ready to dive deeper into reclaiming your body, your pleasure, and your voice, I am here. This community is here. You are never alone in this journey. I'm sending you so much love, strength, and light. Until next time, keep choosing yourself. This was me, Meeta, your guide, your friend, and your biggest cheerleader on this journey to love, healing, and intimacy. Thank you for trusting me with your time and your heart today. Take care, stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you next week with another soul stirring conversation. Until then, keep shining and take care of yourself.